right, I'm just taking some notes here. So we rejoined the party in the Golden Oasis Casino, a large, bright, lovely place. They all have a similar look of, middle-class folks just out for a tea party or social event. A few of them have taken a little bit of a paid for a few tokens, and are currently looking for a place to spend them and maybe start up some conversations. So, those of you that are looking to gamble, what would be your game of choice?
How old is Texas Hold'em? Probably
Not that old.
Probably not that old, considering it's called Texas Hold'em. Got it.
What was your first clue, Spoon?
Yeah, I realized what I was saying as I was saying it, but it was already too late. Then blackjack, probably.
Go ahead.
Are we gonna kind of try to stick together or try to spread out a little bit in the casino?
You kids do what you want to do.
I'm gonna stick by Eric, but I am not gambling.
Okay.
I will be happy to be there and pretend to be the good luck charm.
Perfect.
Happy
Craps
William
table.
is going to gamble.
Right. Georgie is definitely not going to gamble. She doesn't really want to spend her money like that. So she'll just float around and pretend to be nosy, like she wants to play, but is disdainful. But with drink in hand,
I'm interested in what you're doing, but it sucks.
yes, yeah, this whole bit with putting
It's
in the money
vile and evil.
and not getting the
The
money.
Bible tells us not to do things.
Which is exactly why we must do this.
Right, but before I flit her off, I'm gonna go ahead and hand Blanche another glass of champagne. Like, don't look so stiff. Like, have this. Try to blend in a little bit. Have a drink. Just hold it,
All right.
and then I'll be off. Go poke my nose somewhere else.
Okay.
Flip back a whiskey and sit down at the table. Here we go!
So William sits down at a blackjack table. I would say, Eric, you do notice something else, that there's a set of double doors kind of off to the side, a bit past the VIP area, that appears to be some kind of theater, and they actually have, it looks like a chalkboard that has the names of acts that will be coming on. In about maybe an hour's time, there appears to be some kind of singer, but they definitely have shows here as well, and it might be something that you've heard of just from performers and all of that you've worked with before. But yeah, William, as you kind of head over to the blackjack area, there's probably about 6 different tables. All of them have about 5 stools, and most of them are full. You notice an older gentleman kind of begin to move away. You see his stack is pretty small. He looks a bit, downtrodden, but takes his tokens and kind of gets up, grabs the last bit of drink and slams the cup back down, and kind of turns and just starts walking away from the table. You quickly dart in there, sit down. The table clerk is a middle-aged man. He has a shaved head, but his head's starting to get those wrinkles all across it. Kind of has a bit of a pug look to it. Pretty heavy set, and he's sitting there on the other side. He just gives you a smile. All right, sir, welcome to the table. Goes over the rules for the table and kind of points towards the sign on the side. Shows it's like a 5 shilling starting bet. Everybody else places their tokens, which would be 2 tokens, something like that, and puts their tokens out on the table. Kind of looks to you to place yours.
Well, of course. Yeah, here.
And begins going around. So I'll ask, what is your intention at the table? Are you looking to get information? Are you looking to win money? What would you like to do while you're here? What would be a successful day for William?
I assume they're going to get information, so they're the nerds, so I'm just gonna make some money.
Okay.
I'm gonna be a distraction.
All right, that sounds good. So I'm going to have you go toe to toe against the dealer to see who wins.
You're gosh darn right. I'm gonna use predict the foe's next move,
Okay.
and I'm gonna use super speed so I can count them cards, because that's not illegal yet. And yeah, we'll do that.
Okay. I'm going to say, yeah, the crew tag in over your head. I think it's an unfamiliar place. You know, you're starting to see like there's some people that are watching. You're kind of the newcomer to the table. You know, you're wondering, is anybody going to notice me moving too quick or anything like that?
Nah, it's just my eyeballs. It's okay. Alright, here we go. Yeah, it's good enough for me.
Okay, so on a 7 to 9, you can choose one. So yeah, you as you go through, you have like a queen 8, you know, and you're like, you know, don't want to hit anymore. Begins going through the rest of the table, begins to bust, going too high. Finally get back to the dealer. He's already has a king on the table. He flips it, and it's a 7. Hands you your chips. Few people begin to wander, and we start to see this event of William gambling. The camera goes over and follows Georgie as you're kind of walking along. You're sipping your drink, just kind of listening to the conversation, watching the both the workers, but also the people, trying to get an idea of how this place runs. Also keeping your eye on the various doors and exits throughout the facility. But what exactly is Georgie looking for, trying to listen out for?
Anything strange, because people like to talk about strange happenstances in the city. They like to gossip. So I would be hoping to hear some sort of bit of weirdness here and there. Maybe something that's not generally reported in newspapers.
Mhm.
Just like, oh my god, her son's an absolute monster, or some such
Okay.
sort of gossipy sort of thing.
Sure. Yeah, let's go ahead and roll that investigate and see what the whispers might have.
Right. I guess opportunists, like looking
Mhm.
for would always prepared be alright for it, because like trying to gather the information to, I don't know, do the thing.
Yeah, I would say because you're prepared to like gather information from whatever source it comes from, so that's fine.
Okay. Alright, so I'll use those two. Was it investigate you said?
Correct. Yep.
Alright.
Okay, so you have 2 clues. So yeah, you begin to listen out for anything weird that's going on in the city. Yeah, you come across a group that seems to maybe be from the blue collar district. They seem to have clothing that's a tier lower than yours, and they're talking about the outbreak in the West slums. You know, they've overheard that the cure has been found, that, you know, people aren't sick anymore, but there seems to be a lot more violence being overheard at the city. A lot of gunshots, people leaving, you know, wounded by stray bullets and all that. seem brink of a war, kind of a conversation. As you're kind of walking by, one of the workers kind of comes up and approaches you and offers you a drink. Haven't found a table for your liking quite yet?
Not quite.
I see.
Not
Well, there's
quite.
quite a few varieties here. Is this your first time at the Golden Oasis?
It's not, but the games do bore me.
Mm.
A bit.
So here for the show, then?
Yes.
I see. Very good. Yes. Lady Latree is a beautiful opera singer. I believe the show kind of looks up to a large clock up on the wall. About another 15 minutes or so. Would you like me to take your glass and provide you with another drink?
I'm fine for now. I will come find you if I require another beverage. You said about 15 minutes?
Oh, correct. Yes, the doors will be opening right there. Make sure you do go and buy your ticket beforehand. I'll take the tickets at the door. But yes, you should be able to get in there. I do recommend get there a bit early if you want a good seat. But yes, about 15 minutes. And they do have drinks inside as well, so feel free to stop at a bar beforehand or inside. Either way will be just fine.
Okay. We'll do that. Thank you.
Of course, they begin to kind of walk away, offer drinks to other folks, kind of turn back to look at you one more time, and then make their way through the rest of the crowd. What else would you like to ask?
Is there any sort of like whispers or rumors about what's his name? The guy whose wallet we found?
Dediv.
Yes.
You don't overhear anything mentioning him, but you do pass by the bank once more, and you would know, having gone over there, that they do take down your information if you kind of begin to return there. Like, you have one free time to just go get tokens, but if you begin to return and ask for more and more tokens, they start to take your personal details. So if there was a record of him, it would probably be with them, or within their record keeping.
Okay. 15 minutes. I think that's enough time. I guess I'll swing by the counter and just ask about him.
What do you? So yeah, you kind of wait in line for a bit. You get towards there's large kind of iron, but they've been painted kind of a light gold that stands between you and the banker. But you get up to the nice polished counter, and he looks up, looking to cash out or cash in.
An inquiry, more like.
I see.
A cousin of mine, Nadiv. Oh my god, what was his last name? Sorry, I scrolled past those.
It's Fredman.
Fredman. Nadiv Fredman. My aunt's told me he's frequented this place. I was sent to inquire as to how frequently he's been here.
A cousin of yours. Go ahead and roll me a convince.
Alright. Sorry, I had to.
You're good.
Alright, can I use ambition? Because she's feeling kind of confident.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
An opportunist.
Sure.
Since she was privy to this information now.
Yeah.
Alright.
Do you have any weakness tags that you want to apply?
A creep. Let's do memorable face.
If
Since
you
this
weren't
is a
going
very
to, I was.
Yeah, it's kind of very specific, so
Mm-hmm.
let's try that.
Okay. So on a 7 to 9, they give it a little bit, protect their own agenda. He leans in. What is your name, then? If you don't mind, just for record keeping, if I'm going to give you this information, it'd be best that I have everything sorted.
Vanessa. Vanessa, I guess say last name, Freeman.
Can I see your ID? I just need to take some personal information. It's how we do. He kind of references down the counter, and you see individuals pulling out like their wallets or flat books and placing their ID on the counter. They begin to take their information. It's common procedure. Again, I'd be happy to give you that information. I just just need to take down your name, your information, just to make sure if your cousin shows up asking why his information was given out, want to make sure that he has the right person to go and conversate with.
Would let's just kind of glamour have covered this, or is it not quite that far reaching?
So on a 7 to 9, he's willing to give in a little, but still protecting his own agenda. So he's willing to give you the information, but needs to cover his own ass in case anyone asks why.
Okay.
So yeah, you can tell he's basically just trying to save his own ass. So if you have ideas of
trying to cover it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, my spell was only to make us look like we belong together, not to create false documents.
Right. Okay, so I'm gonna go in my wallet and frantically look through my crap.
Okay.
And I'm going to find an old copy of an invoice
Okay.
for Vanessa something else. Vanessa Johnson, a client, basically.
Okay.
That I had at the Huntsman. Can I try and convince him that that's my father's name? They're no longer together or something like that.
Yeah. So I think what we can do here... I'm going to say this is a sneak around, as you're trying to find the right document to kind of fake your way in. Framing a client.
Right. So, let's see. I guess now's the time to use company records for dubious agendas. My ad card, go away. I guess opportunist and I guess can I try to use alluring?
Sure. Yeah. Give him a smile as you're going through your bag. Everything's fine here. I just need to find it. It's at the bottom. You know.
Yes. It's around here somewhere. Alright. Oh Lord. I was really nervous for a second.
So you're able to find some kind of a document that has the name and address. How would you explain that to him again?
I don't have an updated ID card. My mother and I, we just changed our last names back to her maiden name. My father is no longer in the picture, so I'm waiting on the documentation. This is all I have that's official at the moment.
No, it's not a problem at all. Kind of reaches for the document, takes it, and begins to take some quick notes. All right. Well, Miss Johnson, one moment. Let me go and take a look over our records, and I'll be right back with you. If you don't mind, just waiting over there, kind of motions you towards the edge of the counter, where you can see there's another door that the bankers can kind of come into and out of.
Can I see anything as they come in and out, or?
It's not like you can see into, so you see the back side of the door, and if you go to the edge, you can see the other side. It's just a wall to get them into like the banker cage. So it seems like he wants to come out with the information. He just wants to move you away from the rest of the customers.
Okay, all right. I will chug the rest of what was a single shot of whiskey, and leave my cup wherever
Okay.
there was, and go ahead. I don't smell drunk at all.
So as he goes to retrieve the records, we follow through the crowds and come across Eric and Blanche. Blanche, you have your arm through Eric's arm walking around. You're just kind of walking side by side.
I have his arm.
And so as you are moving around, what are you trying to listen in as well? Or are you just kind of more stunned by what this place is?
I mean, I'm still a little surprised, but I don't want to be completely useless in this place. So I would like to try to use my magic to get a glimpse of like the truth of things. See if there's any magic at play or illusions or anything like that. People hiding what they really are, that kind of stuff.
Okay, that's definitely gonna be a looking beyond the mist roll. So that's gonna be a roll with just your mythos. So I believe you have 2 mythos themes.
Mm-hmm.
And so it'd technically be an investigate, but yeah, we'll just be using those instead.
Great success.
Okay. So what specifically are you looking for?
I mean, people who aren't necessarily what they appear to be, for one. Any type of lingering magical or supernatural effects that might be around, that kind of thing. I'm trying to be the person who looks beyond the surface of reality. You know what I mean?
You are overwhelmed. It is, the entire place is full of strange things. You begin to see the shadows of the people start to almost morph to represent things that they might be. And first you kind of notice it. You look over towards William and you see his shadow is kind of elongated and has that kind of vampire look that you've seen. You see some other individuals at some tables that seem kind of smaller in stature, kind of almost leprechaun-y, as it were. You see some of the guards moving about that have very big, almost dragon-like statues, like walking, dragon kind of things. You notice that with most of the common workers, however, the people serving drinks, the people at the tables, the bankers themselves, the ones that are wearing that white with the dark black vests and black vests, they have no shadow, but you can tell there's still something there, but they don't seem to have that same specific quality that you've seen throughout. But I think it causes you to almost, again, be overwhelmed, because it's hard to pinpoint one specific thing, because almost everywhere you look there is something strange and you're seeing it in almost its purity.
High def supernatural vision, go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, is there anything that seems particularly dark and evilish?
Evilish.
It's a word, I just made it up.
Cough, cough.
So
I mean, obviously there's William, but is there
Yeah.
anything else?
It's a good question. Let me look at my notes here. You start to notice something on the tables and on, in the hands of people walking by. It's the tokens. You take the one out that you have and you look at it. And normally it just has a large kind of GC logo on the front of it. The back of it has just an etched emblem of the front of the casino. Very standard kind of token. But as you look at it, you can see past it. And for a moment, you see a face stare back at you and blink. And it makes you jump. And as you do, you look back and the coin, the token is back as a token.
Interesting. Okay, so the only particularly dark thing is William, but the coins are weird. and have
It seemed
faces.
dark. Like as far as searching for
Oh,
darkness,
okay.
the coins and then the face within it seemed dark.
Okay. Eric is carrying a coin, right? Or
Yeah, you
multiple
both.
coins?
Do you, Eric? Did-
I'm not carrying any.
I picked up a few.
Okay. I'm gonna kind of do my best to seem casual and reach out with my free hand and take one. I just want to give it a pretty intent, I want to study it. I want to see if I could figure out what makes this object somehow more dark and dangerous seeming than all of the other shit in the room. Like,
So as you kind of take a seat and begin to look at the coin closer, I'm going to need you to take a risk, as there are individuals that are watching for this kind of thing.
okay, we'll do patience and cunning because I don't think most people would have expected me to be able to do what I'm doing. See beyond the mist for obvious reasons. I have some suspicion that the coin might be more than what it is, so a shape for all occasions?
Okay.
More than what it seems is what I meant, not more than what it is. That would be silly. Take a risk.
So the coins are evil?
Yep.
Okay.
Could
Coins.
could I potentially use Eric to help me kind of hide what I'm doing since we're so close and I'm kind of holding on to him
Yeah. I would say
to try to divert him?
Eric
do you
would
have a help
probably
point?
have
I
a
do.
higher opportunity of doing it without being caught than Blanche, but I guess it'd be if you had that conversation to have him do it, or if you're still trying to do it yourself.
I
As
mean,
far
I
as
think
hiding
that
it.
yeah, I mean, I think it's magic is part of why I want to do it, but
Right.
Yeah.
having him help me to keep it hidden would be nice.
Do you have an extra help point for her, Eric?
I certainly do.
Okay, yeah, we could definitely say that you're creating kind of a semi-distraction. Maybe you spill your drink or something like that and cause people to look away for a moment.
Okay. Awesome. Take a risk. Great success.
Okay, so you, in the moment you look at it closer. I'm gonna give you, yeah.
Dang.
You have to really try with this one, as there's a dark energy that feels revolting to you. But after a while, you start to feel a connection. In vague whispers in your head, you feel like you're hearing stories or memories of someone. And just through words that you have to really pull your attention to. You just hear them. You hear like kind of the sounds, the laughter of children, the conversations of how are we going to pay rent this month, the fighting of an interaction with a boss. How can you let me go? I need this job. An agreement where you only hear one side of it. And you feel like there is, in a way, that this coin is alive, was alive, but holds the memories, the soul of someone.
Do all the voices sound the same, or are they different people?
Do you go through different coins? Or are you just with one coin?
I mean, I'll look at the other coins
Okay.
if I have this suspicion that they might be different.
Yeah, with your great success, you go through like 2 or 3 coins. They each have a different voice.
So it sounds like at the very least these are holding their memories.
Yeah, you definitely...
Could be more than that.
From what you can tell, that you can tell there's a very hard to pierce, dangerous, dark magic that's attributed to these, but what it actually houses, you're not completely sure yet. You just know that it does have something that is either alive or was alive within.
Okay. I'm going to very carefully hand them back to Eric. Don't hold on to those any longer than you have to.
Okay. Sure.
I just look pale and a little shaky, and I'm just kind of doing my damnedest to hold it together and look completely normal while I, stick very close to you.
I'm going to try to wave like a cocktail waitress or something over with a drink for her because she's not feeling too great.
I have a drink.
Oh.
I have a drink in my hand.
Oh.
I have a thing of champagne that was given to me by Georgie.
Oh, that's right, you
apparently
do.
To help me look more natural.
That's really working out for you.
Yeah.
Chug it! Chug it!
Chug the champagne.
It'll calm the nerves.
What I'm going to do for my part is I'm going to actually check out the surroundings. I'm going to be specifically looking for if I see any of that and that's a long shot, but if there's anything that appears to be that owl logo that we saw, anything like that, any sections of wall that don't seem to make sense, or any people that are just like they're acting like more than just security or more than just gamblers, like there's something else going on. I don't know, just trying to get a general feel for the land.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have you investigate as well.
Okay. Because this is more of the physical, practical side of things, I think. So acutely perceptive, because that's 100% what I'm doing. Driven to know who's pulling the strings, and elaborate planner. And you said investigate?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Oh, I should have. No, I didn't. It's fine. Holy crap. Well.
Alrighty. So yeah, and you're looking kind of similar to what she's doing, but for people that seem to be in control but not necessarily working here.
Yeah, there's, like when you're in a casino, there's people that are gambling, there's people that are working there, and there's, people that are trying to pretend nobody can see them, but they're security, so everybody kind of knows that they're there. I'm looking for something else. I don't know how better to explain that.
Mm-hmm.
But just something that doesn't fit, something that doesn't match.
So
That's what I expect.
You're scouring around and you look back towards one of the restaurants. There's maybe 15 or 16 tables, and for the most part it looks normal. But there is something that stands out. There's a priest sitting back there, full Sunday best, as you were, white collar and everything, sitting there having a meal, seeming to be where he always needs to be, just sitting there having a meal.
All right, that's interesting. Did I see anything with like any sort of this owl design?
No. Most of the imagery here are vines, flowers, palm trees, that kind of very much Oasis kind of imagery.
Right. And did I see any like irregularities in the like floor layout of the casino that don't seem to really make a ton of sense?
No, I mean the place looks as you would expect a casino to look. Large open gaming floor, the theater off to the side, the VIP area, pool in the back. You did kind of, once you move around, you can kind of see that there's another building attached. It seems to be a hotel or something like that. Probably has about 15 or so stories that go up. But you don't see anything that stands out as like a hidden area. If anything, like you do notice that there's a vault built into the bank, large vault door. That it's hard to tell what's behind there, but I think that would still seem normal to you. It's a casino.
Sure. Okay. I sort of whisper to Blanche, keep an eye on that priest there. I don't know what he's doing. It seems kind of unusual that he'd be here.
Does the priest seem abnormal when I look over at him with my Technicolor eyes?
Mm-hmm.
He seems normal?
No. He definitely stands out. He's about probably in his 30s, light blonde hair, neatly cut, kind of pressed to one side, clean shaven, dark gray eyes. As far as his shadow, it's hard to tell because he's sitting, but you can tell it seems to be kind of standing up and over him a bit, kind of looking down upon him. You see what might actually be wings, kind of like an angelic figure.
I might keep a close eye on a priest friend.
Okay. I think after the quick look around, just gonna maybe kind of float between a few table games, see if I can what are people gossiping about.
Okay. So as you all kind of begin milling about again, we go back to William. At this point, you've won and lost and won and lost. It's been a tug of war, but you're still on the winning side. People have kind of come and gone from the table, and you've kind of maybe struck up a conversation with those nearby. What is You see your companions. You probably hear the brief commotion of Eric as he spills a drink, and you hear kind of the brief outburst that stands out amongst the winning crowd. Maybe even look around a bit to see that Georgie's over by the bankers, having a conversation with someone over there. You see a group of workers that have passed by you and have headed towards the theater entrance, went inside and are... you haven't seen them come out yet. Look up at the clock. Seems like there's probably about 10 more minutes or so before the show starts. So I guess what is William's goal here? Winning, but how much? Or overhearing anything?
Yeah, probably winning, but also like listening and kind of... I'm not exactly... information gathering. They're doing that. I know they're going to be doing that. But I'll be people watching and seeing if anybody sticks out. You get good at looking like you're not watching people if you're a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
So you can catch them doing things they shouldn't be doing.
Okay. Yeah, as you're looking around, you see a few other folks kind of get upset, slam the table down, leave, obviously not being successful in the day. The few that do seem to be successful, you do see that they get kind of escorted back to the bankers because there is a mixture of populace here. They want to make sure that those that have a decent amount of wealth are protected. And they do escort them over there, make sure that they get their winnings, and will escort them outside to their carriage as well to make sure that they leave the property safely. But yeah, I mean, it's hard to distinguish necessarily one thing from another. Just generally looking over the crowd, it's a casino. There's always going to be, those shady folks that seem like they might be doing something they shouldn't, but it's hard to tell if they actually are or not. So is there a particular kind of person you're looking for, action that you're trying to see? Give me an idea of what exactly you're gonna look for.
Well, I'm actually going to keep my eye out for loan sharks and the like. People who are kind of watching the people losing and approaching them and, hey, I've got some extra money if you want, or sorry you lost, your rent. You need a loan to pay it back type thing.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an investigate check.
Yes. I don't think I have anything that'll help me with that. Just go investigate. Hey, alright, doesn't matter.
Okay. So you still get one question. So, yeah, you definitely, with your well-fed status, your hearing's kind of perked up a bit, and you begin listening. You hear that kind of talk everywhere. Every dealer is trying to get the players to stick around a little bit longer. The bankers are telling those that want to come cash out just a little bit more. Yeah, all of the workers are working to get people to invest as much money as they can, and then offering, hey, we can pay for this one, just kind of sign the dotted line. Even those that are trying to leave, you look up and you see a couple boys that look very similar in structure and kind of clothing to the group of individuals you met in the blue collar district, the Oderos, that you encountered when Calvin ran that boy over.
Yeah, when he walked into the door and murdered him. Yeah, okay.
I love how casually you described that.
That was amazing.
Yeah, they have the same kind of big, bulky look, and as people are trying to leave, you can hear them still trying to persuade them to come back inside. If they look like they've lost something, why don't you go inside? And every once in a while, you'll see someone's attitude kind of change, and they become more agreeing. And they do come back inside and sign the dotted line, as it were, get a bit of cash and go back out to the table. But you don't notice anyone outside of the workers here that seem to be doing that. It doesn't seem like there's other company men or anything. It's just the casino workers are trying to get people to spend as much money as they can here.
So it's really just those boys, aside from the regular workers?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'd have to look into that. So if they're not working for the casino, it's probably not a good thing either way. Besides, those boys are jerks. Accusing my friend of killing somebody. How dare they?
Are you mumbling to yourself over your drink?
Yeah, I taught some of those boys. Those jerks.
21!
Blackjack! Yeah, I'll keep an eye on those kids, and I'm just kind of listening to the chatter, not really paying too much attention to it. But if something were to be said, that would spark my attention, I think.
So Georgie, as you're leaning there, you hear the door. There's a variety of locks that you hear kind of unlock, and the door comes open. The banker steps out. He has a book. It's not super thick. Starts going through. You said Fredman Nadiv, correct?
Yes.
Yes, your cousin. He became pretty active a couple months ago, it looks like, and he opens up to a date. It does show to be about 2 months ago, kind of end of May, early June. Started off fairly small, but you can see started to make quite a lot of larger deposits there towards the end. Last recorded entry was about a month ago. You said he's been here quite recent. He kind of looks up to you confused.
This is what my aunt told me, so I'm just helping her out since she's bed-stricken at the moment. She wants to know where her son is, or has been.
You know, I have heard that there are other, well, more unwell-to-do gambling houses throughout the city. It is possible that maybe he found himself within one of them. And I do apologize. I don't have anything else for him for the rest of June and into the month of July. I do apologize for not being able to provide more information there. But yeah, it looks like he started off with about what you guys did. You know, think about $25-50. But by the last one, he was depositing like $1,000 worth. Yeah, quite large amounts.
All right. Well, I do thank you for the information. She'll want to know where he was, so as unfortunate as this news has become, I will convey that he has been here, albeit not recently. And, yeah, she'll, I guess, like, leave him a shilling for his time, and I guess go find the others and maybe ask them about the show.
He pockets it, kind of closes the book up. I am happy to be of service, Miss Johnson. If there's anything else you might need, well, feel free to ask any of the staff here. You have yourself a wonderful time. I do believe the show's about to start, so have a great time.
Thank you.
So yeah, you can see kind of over on one of the center bars. It's mostly just for drinks. You see Blanche kind of leaning there, drink in hand. Eric's kind of there as well. Blanche looks very pale, kind of sipping at her drink.
All right, I will definitely
not sipping, pretending to sip.
Mm-hmm.
Blanche is not going home with alcohol in her system.
Yeah, busted.
Ooh.
Boo. Have a little.
I mean, is Eric gambling? I thought that was what was happening.
Yeah, I mean that's what I was doing, but yeah.
Okay. What kind of table is Eric going to gamble at?
Nothing major, just like low stakes craps.
Okay.
Roulette, things like that. I'm not even trying to win. I'm just trying to maybe break even.
Okay.
But so that it still looks like I belong here.
Go
Games
ahead
of
and
luck.
take the risk to see how well your gambling ventures
Okay.
go.
Oh. I've got
Those, huh?
I've got legerdemain, which is a thing that I have.
I've got
I
this
have a thing, which is a thing that I have.
Mhm. That's good.
This thing,
Did I mention cold
Because if you
medicine?
didn't have a thing, then well, we would not be here. That would be.
this
We
thing
would have
belongs
a
to
problem.
me. It is my-
Things are important to have.
Maybe the art reception. I'm probably getting a little shady just to make sure. Like I said, I'm not trying to win. I'm trying to
Mhm.
break even, and generally speaking, the house wins. So I'm trying to, minimize that as much as I can.
Okay.
And yeah, I think that's it. I think that's all that I've got. I feel like I should throw in the unnecessary risks tag, though.
Okay.
So what was I doing? Take the risk?
Taking the risk. Yep.
No.
Well, that's not good.
Oh,
Somebody's being thrown out.
Oh,
So,
shit.
You lose all the money.
You take over your chips and go to a roulette table. You're like, all right, just gonna put it on, I don't know, 17 black. You split it up, and they spin it. The ball goes around, goes around, goes around, goes around, lands on your number, and your stack immediately gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
Uh-oh.
And as you looked at the table, you realize you just made a lot of money really fast. And the table boss that's back there kind of watching over has noticed your stack rise and seems to be calling one of his people to come and see how well this very wealthy individual is doing and making sure they're all good.
I'm going to do my best to pretend to be very excited for him. Even though under my breath I'm occasionally leaning in and going, "What are you doing?"
Didn't mean to win.
Yeah, you see one of the workers kind of come up and just stand, going around the table offering drinks, but definitely kind of keeping an eye towards you. They just want to make sure that you're safe. You've just won a lot of money. We don't want anybody to stab you in the side.
When the worker is over, can I kind of make a show of like leaning in and relinking my arm with his and saying a little bit louder than I necessarily need to? "My love, isn't it time for us to go and get something to eat? There were those lovely tables over there."
Yes, you go out on top, right?
I think that sounds like a lovely idea.
The
And I'm gonna turn back to the worker and then kind of smile. "Oh, how convenient. We were hoping to snag one of those tables," and I'm gonna gesture over to the general area where the priest is sitting.
okay.
have a
Yeah,
meal.
the worker comes over. He has a name tag of just says Lonnie Cowan on it. He comes over. Of course. Would you like to go and store your tokens in with our bankers for the moment? They can hold it, just allow you to have a wonderful meal, and I can go and sort your table.
That might be wise, and I'm gonna turn and look at Eric. I'm sorry. I know you brought me here to for a lovely afternoon out, but aren't these money? And she'll kind of point at the tokens. Can't we use that to buy food? She looks genuinely confused. She's totally playing up the "I'm a dumb woman" angle.
It doesn't quite work that way.
Oh, sir, you could certainly use the tokens to pay for a meal there. They're good as coin. Or if you wish, you can go and cash them out as well. We'd love for you to stay a bit longer. Seems you're having quite a lucky day here, so I don't see why breaking that streak so early would be a good idea. But it's up to you, of course.
I mean, clearly the missus here is feeling a bit peckish, and there's quite a lot of excitement here. So perhaps I should take some of these, and we'll go and get ourselves a table, and you can bank the rest of these for me?
Perfect. Can I have your name and ID so I can set you up with an account?
How close am I to the?
You're overhearing it. Like there was a loud yipping and hooray, someone just won kind of thing, as we've all heard in casinos. You know, somebody wins big.
Well, then I'm gonna take my tokens and then kind of meander over,
Okay.
and then start playing up the drunk bit and bumping into people.
I would like to take advantage of that.
Okay.
I also would like to take advantage of this.
Okay.
I'm gonna down most of the champagne in my glass.
Okay.
And then proceed to behave all lovey-dovey since we're playing up the fact that we're a couple.
Okay.
And when he goes to pull out his wallet, I would like to kind of brush my fingers over it and attempt to change at least one of the cards in there to look like a fake ID.
Okay. I'm gonna say that's definitely sneak around. Go ahead and take a bonus for William's distraction. And
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Cast magic spells, a shape for all occasions. Impeccable appearance.
Oh my goodness! If I could spell, it would
Mild success.
be. There we
Okay.
go.
What are you changing it to?
Okay.
I've already-
I come up with a good name.
I've already come up with one now.
Oh, you providing a name?
It's in the chat there.
Yes, he's going to be Frank Stein. Steen. Frank Steen.
Frankenstein.
And you know, I'll give him an address and such that is not the gated community, but like a step below, since we're upper middle class looking
Okay.
right now.
The blue collar district probably.
Yes,
Yes. Perfect.
but it'll still have his face and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So.
That'd be awkward if it didn't.
Well, you know what I mean. I'm
Yeah,
not
no,
like.
I do. It's like, oh shit, that would really
It's just
suck.
it's just some like 80-year-old white man with like shock orange hair and like.
Yep, no, that's totally me.
And then and as I'm doing it, I'm going to lean in and, like I'm being all flirty, and whisper, "Just go with it."
So as this commotion goes by, you quickly rub your hand over his wallet as he's presenting it. You notice out of the side of your kind of glint out of the side of your eye, one of the figures that had been sitting at the table nearby, that you kind of seen the smaller stature kind of shadow, looks over to you with this big smile and just gives you a wink, and then goes back to playing. They have a pretty nice pile of chips in front of them as well. They definitely seem to have noticed something, but they'll just think a simple smile and a wink. But you go and you give them a kiss, and I think, Georgie, this is about when you're approaching the group as well. You kind of see the end part of this of just Blanche draped over Eric, and Eric kind of trying to hold
Like,
his ID out to someone.
Great impression.
Yep.
I'm gonna meander over and pat him on the back. Good job, boy. And then
Blanche is gonna have the good grace to blush, because this is not like her at all to behave in this way, and that could potentially be attributed to the guy winking at her at the same time.
So Lonnie goes ahead and kind of takes down the information, thanks you, takes whatever tokens you didn't take, and begins to make his way over to the bank. As he goes by, he actually leans over to one of the other workers and tells them to go over to the restaurant and prepare, make sure they hold a table for you. So you see them head over, talk to the hostess, and they seem to just be waiting for you to attend. Do you guys all go as a group?
I
And the
thought
show
George
is starting.
It
Yeah,
is.
right.
Yep. Show's about to start.
I mean, if we have a minute To confer, I would suggest that William and Georgie go take
to the
in
show?
the sights,
Right. Okay.
and
mean, I
we'll
could stumble
continue
into
to
the
play up
theater,
the
it's okay.
Lovebirds angle.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm
Okay.
blushing the whole time we're talking about it.
Okay.
Right. We'll reconvene later. Georgie will link her arm in with Williams. It's like, come on, Uncle, let's go catch this show.
What? Who are you now? What?
Just
The,
for the record, though, I did want to say that before I gave away the chips, I sort of spread some of the luck around the table, sort of like
Okay.
just threw a few chips everyone's way, including Georgie and William. So
Well, to be fair, you can't call me uncle because then I'm like the one guy's dad or whatever, and then it's kind of weird.
Revelations.
Yeah,
Part
go
of the
ahead
job.
and give yourself a story tag, Eric, of a bucket of tokens.
Big spender.
And
Big money.
William, I would say for your winnings, give yourself a story tag of a pocket full of tokens, not a bucket, but you got a
Sure.
pocket full. So yeah, then you guys kind of head to the show and head to the restaurant.
Yeah. I'll take it.
Yes.
Show.
All right. So Georgie and William, you kind of get into the line, and there's maybe 2 or 3 other folks that are in front of you, and you see that they're asking for tickets at the front
crap.
door.
I didn't get any.
Where do we buy tickets?
Can we still buy tickets?
You look around, and there's a back by the banker. Yeah, you can still buy tickets. The show hasn't started yet. I think they probably have about a 15-minute grace period, something like that. So you make your way back past Blanche and Eric. As you're getting towards the restaurant, you see them go over to the door, turn around, and begin walking the other way. Not quite sure what they're doing there, but you get to the hostess, and she smiles, kind of greets you, welcomes you. It seems to be kind of maybe some kind of Greek sandwich shop, something like that. Variety of hand foods, but also a wide variety of wines available. They usher you in, and you find yourself at a smaller table for 2, but it's maybe only a table or so. Like there's one table between you and where this priest is sitting. He's still sitting there by himself. He has probably a half-eaten sandwich in front of him. You do notice now that you're closer, like the buttons on his robe have kind of been unbuttoned a bit. The neck piece is a bit loosened. His sleeves are pulled up a little bit on his arms, and he seems to just be relaxed.
Okay. On our way over there, Blanche is going to kind of chatter more loudly than is necessary about. She's going to be dropping hints that there's things are serious between she and Eric, and are
Oh,
definitely heading towards like a wedding bells a wedding bells type of thing. She's making a show of playing up the future newlyweds
Okay.
angle.
Okay.
And
Erica's-
oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I'm absolutely playing along.
Because we never want to come back here again.
Hey, we can look different. It's fine. I've got this.
You can
Um,
look different.
And when we settle in, Blanche is gonna like kind of just idly talk with him for a minute, and then sort of look up like she's just browsing the room, so to speak. And then pretend like this is the first time she's seen the priest, and kind of lean over and stage whisper to Eric, "Look, I mean, if this isn't fortuitous, I don't know what is. We just moved to the city, and we've come into all of this money, and we've been trying to decide how we're going to go about our big day. Perhaps we could ask an expert."
As you look around. You are definitely overheard. You see him look towards you, and he doesn't smile or anything. Just kind of vague notice, like I notice that you're here. Maybe raises his drink to a congratulations. Just goes back to eating his food, kind of observing the crowd.
He's here for the bigger fish.
Well, Father? What do you say? Is it?
He's like 2 tables away,
Oh.
dude. You don't call him
thought
from
we were-
here.
I thought we were closer. My bad.
Hey, Father, come over here!
He's like
I'm gonna
a
repeat
table
again.
away. So think
Oh,
like
okay.
you, and then there's a table. It doesn't seem. Maybe there's like 2 or 3 people that are at this other table, and then he's past them.
So we'd still be like talking through people, which is
Yeah.
awkward.
Hey, you priest guy!
Hey, you over there.
You with the collar and all.
Robes.
With the buttons!
And he's sitting by himself?
He is. Yep, sitting by himself, half-eaten sandwich, bit of wine, just watching.
How does his shadow look now that we're closer?
The same. It looks angelic of sorts, but you're noticing like the shadows beginning to fade a bit. It's been a little while since you pushed past that, but yeah, it has kind of it looks like an angel standing behind him.
All right. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm in response to her saying, "Oh, maybe we should ask an expert." I'm going to also stage whisper back, "Oh, I'm sure he doesn't want to be bothered. The man's clearly having his lunch. It wouldn't be proper."
It seems he agrees with that statement as he doesn't respond.
Reverse psychology doesn't work on priests.
Evidently, I was kind of hoping.
Blanche is gonna tish tosh and kind of pat him on the hand a little bit and stand up and make her way over.
Okay.
Excuse me, Father. I hate to be a bother. I was wondering if you had a moment.
Yes. What is it?
Well, we just moved to the city and we're planning to get married shortly.
That's nice. Mm-hmm.
And we've been looking for a church
I see.
and someone who might be able to perform the ceremony.
There are many fine churches in the city. I'm sure you'll find one.
It simply seems fortuitous that on the day when we actually have enough money to pay for such a venture, you happen to be here.
Dear, if you are living in the city, there's no reason for you to worry a little head about anything. There are many fine churches, and I guess let's see. I have to remember the names. He references like ones you probably know of, the church in the old boroughs, the church in the blue collar district, the church in the gated community that you would have recalled Hans Bexley was dropped off at.
Yeah, that would be a bad idea. Half the party got arrested in that church.
I do apologize, though. My parish is quite small, quite far away, and I don't have very much free time on my hands. Anyways, please, let me send a bottle of wine to your table. Congratulations are in order. You and your gentleman seem to be quite happy together.
Oh, we are. How far away is your parish? It seems like an odd place to come for lunch.
Ah, yes. Well, old friends. You have to keep in contact. No, I am from the Church of the Holy Name out in the suburbs. And Launch would know the suburbs. That's out of the city. It's probably a good 10 or so. It's not out of the city, it's just not in the city proper.
Right. Since I'm up close enough to actually have a conversation, can I give him a quick once over and see if I see anything like an owl marking somewhere or something of that nature?
As you begin to give him a quick study, go ahead and roll investigate. But as you investigate him, he investigates you, so he will be asking you questions as well.
Okay.
Ooh. Screwing with the NPCs.
Let's go with... I'm used to doing quick glances at things to try and find information that I want, so we'll go with library benefactor.
Okay.
Woman of her time, because I want to make it seem like I'm simply curious and a little bitsy, and probably more pushy than I should be. And I want to hold things together, so stability.
Okay. Sounds like a plan. You have any weakness tags that apply that you think of?
I'm not sure. I would normally say not my own person, but that seems like that's almost a strength here.
I'm gonna say the crew weakness tag in over your head probably plays here.
Okay.
You just chugged a bottle of champagne. You're in a very strange place.
Not a bottle of glass.
I know. I'm just... I was seeing how much you drank to see if you remember how much you
Damn.
drank. But no, you chugged, and it wasn't even a full glass.
Right.
But you did just drink. You're in a strange place. It's
Okay. All right. Cool. So I'll put attention on that.
Yep.
And investigate. Mild success.
Okay. So you have 2 questions. So, you don't see any symbology of an owl or anything like that. He is wearing a couple rings on his finger, and one of them stands out to you just because it's a dark gem or stone, like dark black, and it almost seems like fluid, almost like ink. But yeah, it just seems strange for a priest to be wearing it.
Something that seems so foreboding.
Mm-hmm. Kind of not necessarily foreboding, just strange. Like you've been around priests before. Normally they're all about, if anything, regal kind of stuff, but for something dark like that, yeah, it stands out.
Okay. Second question. Can I let him do his questions while I try and come up with a second question, unless somebody has one they want me to ask? Anybody?
Is he a real priest? I don't know.
How about, is there anything in particular he seems to be watching for?
Ooh, that's good. That's a good one. Is there anything or anyone in particular that he seems to be focused on?
There doesn't seem to be any, like, he doesn't seem to be watching for anything. In a way, he has a bit of an ego about him, that he wants people to see him here, so he's kind of watching to see who's watching him. He kind of likes being noticed.
It's a nice see you seeing me moment. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Well, that's my 2 questions.
What are your parents' names?
Mm-hmm. George and
This isn't
Martha.
him asking the question. This is me asking the question.
Oh, this isn't in character.
No.
Oh shit. Hold on. I have to pull up all my notes. I was not planning for that. Open. Thought I was gonna have to lie. Where are you? City of Mists. Character info. Oh, okay. I don't think I ever gave her parents' names. If I did, they're not in my notes. We'll say... Theodora and George.
As he finishes giving off the names of the various churches in the city, he kind of sees you looking at his ring and looks up towards you. As I said, there's many fine churches that I am sure you and your beloved will be able to find. It is too bad Theodora and George won't be there. He stands, kind of taps you on a shoulder as you lean over there, kind of like staring with the shock, and begins to make his way towards the exit of the shop.
Oh, he knows you.
So Eric, you see this, like you see her talking for a moment, and kind of look down. You hear him whisper. You don't know what's said. You see him kind of touch her shoulder, and she like has to put her hand down on the table, kind of just staring at it as he begins to make his way out.
Yeah, I sort of get up as he's going and like, oh, darling, are you all right? Sorry, Father. Sorry if she bothered you.
Not a problem. And as he begins to exit, he goes over to the hostess. Please be sure to send one of your best wines to that table. They are celebrating, after all. The hostess kind of nods, goes to place that order.
What did I miss?
He knows me. Or knows things about me that he shouldn't.
That's unnerving.
Yes. Take me back to our table and let's continue to pretend to be happy.
Certainly.
As you're getting back, the waiter comes over. He has a very fine aged glass of looks like monastery wine, very finely crafted. Pops the cork. The smell, if especially for Blanche, like this is pristine stuff that you would have remembered your parents having it at very few times, very particular parties, like the reserve stuff from deep in the reserves. Takes it and pours a little bit. Please allow yourself to experience this. And as that's happening, we go back to William and Georgie. You have your tickets. Probably who paid? Did you pay with some of your winning, William?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, it wasn't that expensive. And you both make your way inside. It's a variety of single. They almost look like folding chairs, but they have a bit of a padding on them. Seem to be fairly comfortable. On the stage itself, it's not a massive stage, but at the moment it has some velvet curtains that are kind of over it. There are a few lanterns that are kind of used as spotlights down to the stage, and a few private boxes up on the side wall too, that you see that there's some of those well-to-do, very fancy folk up there. You know, the women with their tall hair, the men appear to have possibly some makeup on, all wearing the very lovely finery. But down here in the general crowd, it's a bit of everyone, a mixture. There's a very light violin sound playing in the background, kind of a welcome music, very gentle conversation throughout the crowd, people coming, sitting, getting ready for the show, and you both find your seats. Do you sit anywhere particular, or just kind of go wherever you go?
Probably somewhere next to the aisle, but about closer to the front.
Okay.
Okay. Georgie gets a glass of champagne though before she sits down.
Georgie might have a problem.
Georgie likes to blend in, and drinking is the game. So,
Well, I'm already drunk. It's okay.
oh dang, oh drunk uncle, oh man.
Well, I had to pretend to be drunk to get in here near the table, so I'm gonna keep it up. The secret is I'm not that drunk.
Commitment to the facade. Right. So yeah, we'll sit near to the front.
Okay.
Okay.
So as the room begins to fill, it only gets maybe about 60% full. It doesn't fill all the way. The doors are closed, the lanterns are shut off, and you sit in darkness for a moment. You hear some people kind of whispering. You kind of just feel the warmth of the room. Kind of feels a bit uncomfortable. And then you start to hear the sound of piano playing. And the curtains begin to slowly part, and a single spotlight kind of hits the stage, and you see a woman standing there. She's wearing a long flowing gown with a train that probably goes on for an extra 5 or 6 feet. Her hair is in curls but built up to stand probably an extra foot or so on top. She has furls over her arms, a large collar around her neck. And she begins to sing in this opera voice, starting very softly and rising in crescendos, and begins to go into this very deep, passionate song in Italian. The audience, those that care for this kind of thing seem to be allured by her every crescendo and fall. But it's a fairly enjoyable show. I don't know how many shows you've been to, William, but it could probably fit in at many of the theaters down in the theater district quite well.
Probably been to a fair few.
Yeah.
My wife likes to go.
So as you guys are in here, beyond watching the show, is there anything else that you're wanting to do?
I'm still kind of keeping an eye on the crowd.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, go ahead, Georgie.
Yeah, go ahead. No, I mean, I was just gonna say she's gonna just make a mental note of where I guess the musicians are sitting and where everyone is, basically.
So you kind of take a moment to look past. It does seem like the musicians are sitting back behind her, and they have some, kind of the way that the backstage is built allows for the sound to kind of rise up and over the stage and out into the audience. The ticket takers kind of just stand at the back of the room. The person working the bar kind of just stops to watch as well. And again, there's maybe 4 private boxes up above. A few of them have those special little lenses to see closer. They're all kind of leaning forward. You can see some of the men wearing their industrial clothes that are there with their wives are just kind of picking at their skin a bit, like trying to find that one stray hair to pluck, and just extremely bored. Like they have that one bit of dark oil on their palm that they have never been able to get off, but they're going to today. Like they're gonna rub that mess off their hand. But it just looks like a general crowd. People just kind of enjoying the show.
Is there anything strange about the singer?
Yeah.
Yeah, do you want to go ahead? Who wants to look beyond the mist?
I don't think I would have anything that would work.
So it'd be based off of your mythos itself, basically how aware you are of the mist. So I think, William, this would probably be on you, especially with your heightened senses. So how many mythos tags do you have? 2?
2, yeah.
Okay, so it'd be an investigate roll with 2 then.
So we'll do just +2 and then an
I'm gonna say
investigate
your
roll.
well-fed status can play to this as well.
So +3?
Yeah, because it is heightening your senses. So now that you're using your mythos along with your mythos being well-fed, so it would be an additional +3 for that.
Oh, so what it would be?
And investigate
Plus-
+5.
+5, okay. It doesn't.
Sometimes
it
it's good to be a vampire.
Dang.
Here we go.
Okay. So as you look at her, there's nothing special about her. You can tell she's a sleeper, but this room has been enhanced to be more alluring. There's definitely, even though they don't have speakers at this time, there is some kind of effect within this room that are creating that kind of effect, causing it to be louder, able to be tuned to just the right pitch. The balance of the music and the voice are blended perfectly. So while she doesn't seem to be that special, the room seems to be special.
I'll point that out to Georgie. This room is some kind of magical.
Right, like in a dangerous way. What kind of way is it magic?
It's amplifying her. I'm not sure how, but it's broadcasting her voice farther than it should carry and making it sound better.
I see.
So I get like 5 questions?
Sure, if you have them about the show or the people within it.
Oh snap!
Oh boy. Does anybody have any questions?
Spoon with questions. Here we go.
Well, I mean, I might have 1 or 2, but I want to see if anybody has any good ones first.
Well, you don't necessarily. So with the investigate, you do receive that many questions.
Yeah, I
but
mean,
if you
I
honestly
don't
don't have them.
Yeah, but I'm sure there's probably something that. I mean, can I get a good look at the crowd and see if there's anybody that stands out?
As far as past the mist,
Yeah.
you yeah, I guess let's see. So as you're looking past, we know that Blanche kind of sees shadows. I think. How would you see it using your current enhanced senses? Like what are you doing to see these things? Is it the way they smell? Is it what you hear?
It would be more than likely smells, stronger heartbeats, you know.
So yeah, there's definitely
Is it
something
like-
you notice. The 2 ticket takers in the back, the bartender, they don't have any heartbeats.
Oh, well.
Dang.
That's stone cold, yo. Everybody dead.
Dead or just not alive in the general sense?
Can I look closer at them without being just staring directly at them, type thing?
What are you looking for?
Well, they don't have heartbeats. I want to see. They appeared normal as we came in. Yeah, they weren't.
Yeah,
So they were
they
just-
talked to you, smiled, welcomed you.
Not. Okay, so what I've used one of my investigates, right? I wanna see if is there a way to tell if they're being controlled by somebody or something.
What would I guess? How would you be able to sense that through what you see, hear, or smell?
I don't see magic per se, so I don't know, maybe a chant or some kind of if I look at them, maybe there's some kind of symbol or something on them, some kind of something animating them, because they don't appear to be alive, but they're clearly alive.
So you do, like, you get hyper into them. You begin like searching their body for any other sign, and like you go past the bartender and you hear his stomach kind of rumble, and you move up and you hear him breathing, and you even like go up to his brain, and you almost feel the electrical energy of just a brain active. The only thing you don't hear is just the steady thumping of a heartbeat. But every other normal bodily function seems to be occurring.
All right. I don't think I have any other. Does anybody else have anything, maybe?
I mean, is it... I'm trying to word this right. But is there an obvious kind of goal of this room being enchanted in this manner? Like,
Just to enhance the experience and get people to pay money to come back. Like it is all about being the best that it can be, that it'll be an enjoyable show.
so basically just to like bring in people and contain them, sort of.
Yeah, repeat customers. Like they'll see one show, they'll spread the word of mouth. Like there's
Okay.
that enhanced quality that they can't really get elsewhere, so it'll draw people to it.
Okay.
Eric and Blanche, do you guys have any questions that you would have about this room if you're in there?
Nope.
Yeah, I don't really have any.
Okay. Well, maybe we'll let you guys think about it for a moment as we go back out to the table. Have you tried the wine?
I would like to try and see if something hinky has been done to the wine before I drink it, because this is a really expensive bottle for them to just randomly bring out to us.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and do you have any clues left over, I guess, about the facility?
No, I don't
Okay.
think so, because I didn't really get clues before, because it was a see through the mist thing.
Yeah, we can go ahead and investigate the wine.
Okay. Let's go with a woman of her time. Stability for obvious reasons, and we're gonna go with blood is thicker because she really wants to make it home.
Mm-hmm.
Great success.
Perfect. No, the wine has not been tampered with in any way. It seems that it's not a fake label on the wine. It is as perfect as the wine could be. You do sense that whoever that priest was holds either a lot of money or some kind of power to be able to order this kind of thing. Like it is definitely a private stock. Like it might be confusing.
This isn't
on how
something
get
you
it.
just order.
No, like this is
Definitely not on a priest's salary.
a direct order.
Yeah, Blanche would be filling Eric in on things like that under her breath, in between mindless chit chat of woman and love. Yeah, though, I guess we could do like a glass. Like, Blanche isn't gonna drink enough for it to really affect her, because she does
Yeah.
have to go home later.
Mhm.
But...
Right.
Do a glass.
Well,
Just-
Eric,
yeah,
it
just shoot
is
the glass.
the best glass of wine you've ever had in your life. And Blanche,
from for
it
the
brings
rest
you
of us.
back to the first time as a child of you stealing a sip from Mommy's cup. And I'm gonna actually have you face danger as
Oh,
you begin
shit.
to feel emotion, and you start to see the liquid in the cup begin to morph the same way your mirror begins to, and you feel a vision coming
Oh,
on.
fuck.
Oh
Okay.
no. The feelings.
Uh-oh.
Well, see beyond the mist, premonitions, and since this is all brought on by heavy nostalgia, blood is thicker.
Okay.
And because it's also brought about by feels about her family, I'm gonna say that it stirs up a lot of self-doubt
Okay.
and invoke that weakness. It's face danger.
Correct. Yep.
Oh no!
Oh.
Oh no!
No!
So as
Oof.
you
Oh,
begin
fuck.
to peer into your glass, you find yourself closing your eyes, and the dark red liquid kind of pulls you into one of the bedrooms. And you look at the doorknob and you see you're not as tall as you should be. You're standing at the height of maybe 13, 14. And it's your parents' bedroom, and you hesitate because you've been hearing them cough, and the servants have told you don't go in there. You know, don't go in there. Your mommy and daddy are fine, but the doctors have come in, and you've seen so many doctors come through, so many different people come through, but you need that hug. You just need to feel their touch. So you reach up, you grab that knob, that knob, and you open it. And you look to the bed, and you don't see your parents laying there. You see Elijah, and there's a spotlight on him. He's laying there, and his skin is pale and pulled taut. You see the cheekbones, his jawbone. The hair on his face is sparse. His hair is beginning to fade, and he very thin across the top of his scalp. And you see this light begin to drain him, almost like too much light would wilt a plant. And like the same way you had found your parents, your brother now lies before you. I'm gonna need you to go ahead and move that dark future to a 4.
Oh,
That
fuck.
can't be good.
That's a big jump, Stilts.
It is.
You done screwed up
Dang.
now. Why would you look at the wine? Just drink it.
When Eric, she was already pale.
Uh-huh.
She is a sheet in the wind right
Ooh.
now. Like, there is something very wrong.
Okay. Time to go. Here we go. Come on.
Here we go.
He's gonna try to help her up. I think you need to get some air, dear.
I'm in a vision. I can't respond.
I'm saying it
You
anyway.
can hear him like calling to you, like the echoes, as you don't want to look away from your brother. You want to reach out and help him, but you feel like he's pulling you away from that, pulling you out of the room to snap out of it.
Can I fight against that to get to Elijah?
Sure. Take the risk.
Try to, anyway?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Sorry, Oz.
It's okay.
Blood is thicker.
I don't know what's going on.
Stability. See Beyond the Mists, and because it fits, and I'm a glutton for punishment, not my own person.
Okay.
Oh boy, here we go.
So is this take a risk, or?
Yeah, this is going to be take the risk, whether you are going to be able to keep yourself in this vision or be pulled away from it.
Mild success.
Okay.
Fuck.
This is not your set of rolls.
Oh my god.
It's really not. I was on a roll earlier,
Oh my
and
god.
Yeah.
that
She
fucking
went down the
leprechaun
rabbit hole.
noticed me, and now I'm screwed.
So, here's your ugly choice. You can either release from this vision, or you can pull Eric in with you.
Oh shit.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, it's her brother. She'd pull Eric in with her.
So
No
Eric,
one is more important to her than her family.
as you begin to like go close and whisper into her ear, you find your
Trying to
vision
help her up, I guess.
go dark, and you like feel your arm go down to the table, and as you open your eyes, you panic for a moment because you're in a different place, and last time this happened, you're
Yeah.
trapped, and you see a spotlight, and you're like panic even more because the last time you
Right.
saw a spotlight. But then you see Lance, she's over there, and she has this young man laying in the bed, and you see this girl, maybe 13, 14 years old, auburn hair, very curly, wearing this nice, outfit, and this man, maybe, how old is Elijah? 30 something, I think.
Yeah.
And he's laying there
Late
in this
20s.
large, ornate bed, and you can't see much around it as this spotlight is beaming down on his body. And he just looks wilted, laying there, and this little girl is just cradling his head. Yeah, but you find yourself in the room.
She is crying and begging him to wake up.
And I don't even know who this is because I have literally no idea what Blanche
You
would
don't
look like
recognize
ever.
either of these people. Nope.
You do recognize the hair color.
You do recognize the hair cover and a bit of the curl, but not the face.
I think he's gonna watch this play out for a minute until, like, there's a sense that something terrible is about to happen, like when the place started filling with water when I had a situation like this occur. So he's just gonna watch this play out, I think. It doesn't seem like something he should get involved in.
As you hold his head, you notice that your hands are smaller, and it's a bit harder to hold him up, but you begin talking to him, and as you feel him, he's radiating immense heat. He has a fever. He's just very, very warm. But you feel his breath, and you look closer and you see his lips are chapped and extremely dry. There's red markings all around his eyes from them just being pulled tightly closed, as if he's trying to not look into this bright light that's above him.
I'm not sure that Blanche is even entirely aware that she's in a vision anymore. I think she may be so freaked out that she doesn't realize it. So can I try to use my magic to block out the light or something?
Absolutely. Yeah, hit it with all you've got.
Okay. I'm gonna go with cast magic spells. See Beyond the Mist. And Blood is Thicker. I've got to... Oh shit. Hold on, I have to redo everything because I forgot to clear it. I'm so into the moment.
still an 8, right?
Yeah, it is.
It's a something.
So you still control, yeah. You still get to take it out. So I would say you probably control any collateral damage, or are you looking to just get it good? What's your idea here?
I want to get it good. I want that light gone because that seems
Okay.
like that's what's hurting him.
Eric, you see this girl turn and like yell, and as she does, like this bit of, it's normally some kind of powder or something you pull, right? You normally have a physical content to your spells, but sometimes it's verbal, if I remember correctly. You see this energy release from her mouth, and you can see almost like an air burst, and it goes up and it hits this light, and the light just shatters. It just explodes across the room. I'm gonna need Eric to face danger against this the glass shards that are spreading throughout the room.
I'm so sorry.
Yeesh. Okay, it's all right. We're facing danger, huh? Okay.
Correct. Yeah.
Let's see. Maybe escape artist.
And you feel like the danger here is that any kind of injury is gonna force you to awaken, to come out of whatever this is. You won't be able to see it go on any further.
Right. So if that's what I think the danger is, I am going to go with the driven to know tag as well, because I don't really understand what I'm seeing at all, and I've seen a lot of weird shit lately, and this is just another in a long chain of it. So I am super
Everything
interested.
is weird shit.
Basically, yeah. Let's see, do I have anything else that I can throw on there? I don't think so, because all the other stuff is like, hey, pay attention to me, and I don't want shards of glass to do that. So
Over here.
I would say maybe this is a weakness tag that I can throw down is unfamiliar restraints or don't look behind the curtain. Which one do you like better?
I feel like unfamiliar restraints definitely seems really fitting.
But I also feel like you're looking behind a curtain.
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's fair.
I was going with unfamiliar restraints at first. I was like, well, maybe.
You got this. Although it may not be bad for you if you get knocked out of this.
Yeah, but I gotta give it. Yeah. Holy crap, this is gonna be terrible. All right, let's go. Roll them up.
I don't see anything.
I don't know why I didn't go.
Ooh, the tension.
Yeah, the tension is mounting here. It's
God damn it, roll 20. Now is not the time.
Through the air, Eric is moving out of the way, pulling his coat up over his head.
all right. I'm gonna try to roll again in case I did it wrong. So if there ends up being 2 rolls, then I'm sorry.
Yeah, no worries.
It was face danger, yeah.
Correct. Yep.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh Lord!
that was really bad.
So
No.
oof, yeah, this is definitely gonna knock you out and take some residual damage, I think.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you're definitely taking a mental strain 1. But as you kind of get blasted back out of this vision, you like hit the back of the chair and feel this ringing, loud pitch, piercing migraine for a moment, as if someone just reached in and punched your brain. You have to hold it, and like it's hard to look around as your eyes are still trying to readjust and you're still figuring out where you are. But by you falling down, you see that Blanche is now down and the glass of wine has spilled over the table, and her head is like down in it. Her hair is kind of getting in the wine, and you see the hostess like calling people over to make sure she's okay. I think just about this point, the show's getting out, so maybe William and Georgie are walking out to see this scene as well. And if you had anything else you were doing in there.
Yes, let's broadcast my misfortune still.
Yeah,
Thanks.
absolutely.
God.
Why
Share
not?
it
Get
with
everybody involved.
everybody.
All
It's
right.
all here, guys.
Sure.
I'm usually the most together member of the party, and now I'm the one who's falling apart. That's awesome.
We'll meander over. Sure.
Now you
You're
make
gonna
your way out.
meander
and
when you see me halfway.
Oh,
you see
God.
what you guys see is just a bottle of wine, a spilt cup, Blanche passed out, Eric kind of sitting there with his hand up to his head, and the hostess making their way over to the table.
Well, I think they just had too much. I'm just having a conversation.
Okay.
That was a good song, you know.
That was a good
That
show.
was a good song.
I enjoyed that.
It was a good show. You feel like you might want to return someday. Maybe bring the wife next time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to get my shit together, stand up and sort of help her up.
Okay.
She's probably still acting out of it, but I'm gonna try.
Okay.
Yeah.
And any of the people who are staff that are running up with concern and everything like that, I'm gonna try to wave them off and just the wine. It was a little strong, and we skipped breakfast this morning. It was a
They're
terrible
super
mistake.
concerned. You made all kinds of money. They're super concerned now.
Yeah, I'm gonna need you to convince the staff to not let the wealthy folks take the passed out wife and not assist in any way.
It just so happens I might be able to do that.
There you go.
Lies, lies, lies.
Mm-hmm.
The art of deception, and center of attention. I want them all to really buy into this shit that I'm talking.
Okay.
So I can't even help. I have a hurt point for Eric.
A hurt point. Why
Yeah,
you have a
I
hurt
don't-
point for me. What did I do to you?
I don't remember, but apparently it was something.
I could imagine, Michael having the hurt point because I messed with his donkey once, but
I mean, do you
Just a
want to
one-time.
cause a negative influence on his role to convince these folks that everything's okay and they should just let him?
I'm gonna end up locked in like
Oh,
a sanitarium somewhere.
As fun as that would be, yes. What kind of negative influence could I?
oh my God.
Like
Well,
just
we've never
screaming
actually
out
done
literally,
this before.
she needs help, like causing the crowd to get bigger. It's already a
Jesus.
few people, but you could easily get the entire casino floor involved if you wanted to.
Jesus Christ! Don't scream fire.
What are you doing with that drunk woman, lad? No, I'm not gonna do that.
Go ahead and
oh, you're
make-
not. Oh,
No. I'm not.
all right.
I have a
I was
feeling
waiting
Georgie
until they
would
were
like
actually gonna do it.
punch him or something.
Oh, I would have probably punched staff with like, you idiots. Well, I would have dressed it at you two, be like, you've gone ahead too much.
Or you could have pulled out
What
that
you
stake
done?
and done all types of things.
I mean,
Oh
I could,
my God.
I could help Blanche, but other than that, there's not much I
Well,
can do.
let's see if he's able to convince.
Alright.
I'm
To
debating throwing down a weakness tag. I'm just trying to see if, like, I'm weighing the pros and cons of doing that.
course.
Jesus Christ! How about my character's
God.
life?
You just like throw her on the table and like I'm done
I am
with this.
I will
Walk
say
away.
this: the mental strain will be a negative. So if you want to just take that
Okay.
as your weakness,
All right, then that's what Ollie will do.
yeah, because that
Take
headaches. It's
another
like
weakness on top of that.
you're trying to be smart, but oh, it hurts to think right now.
Alrighty. Convince. Let's see what happens.
Hey,
All right.
Oh, thank God.
The hostess kind of stops. I see. Kind of looks over. Mr. Stein, would you like us to call your cab? We could get you on your Stein.
Sorry. Jokes are how I cope.
Would you
it's Frankenstein.
would you like us
Seriously.
to get your cab? We could get you set up. You've already if you wish.
No, that's fine. We just need some air. That's all.
Oh, of course. Let me help you. Oh my.
What the hell was
What is
that?
going
What
on?
is going on?
Maro, what did you do?
What did I do?
There's some
Your
weird.
mic is freaking out.
There's some weird voodoo coming down the pipes
Oh
from you.
boy, the plants are attacking.
Oh no.
What is?
There we go.
Yeah, so she
Is
ends
it
up
still,
helping.
or is it?
No, it's
Nope.
stopped.
No, it's better now.
Okay.
Good now.
All right.
She ends
Alright,
up helping you, kind of making sure no one pays attention, like mind your own business, kind of very, very strict about it. Gets you towards the back door and towards one of the tables. It's kind of outside by the pool. It's not as populated out here. There's just a few sunbathers that seem to just be there trying to burn themselves. And a few people in the pool, but they're all too drunk to really notice. And you might think it's kind of dangerous for how drunk they are and they're in the water.
Just a little
but
bit.
You're more focused about Blanche at the moment. William
Right.
and Georgie, you guys can follow. But yeah, Blanche, in the dream, as soon as the light's out, you hear this crash, and for a moment you feel there was another presence, but you don't pick up on it. It was there so quickly and then gone.
Mm-hmm.
And you feel your brother kind of turn his head. Little bee, what are you doing here?
You're sick?
Oh, I'm fine.
I have to take care of you.
You always do. But I promise, I'm fine. Everything's just good.
She's crying. She doesn't really have words at this point. She's just kind of holding him.
As you have him like pressed, maybe your face against his, just holding him. A few of your tears begin to kind of drip and fall down his face, and you start to feel like his face become more plump, and start to feel some kind of prickles from a beard, and the warmth begins to kind of cool down to a normal temperature. And you take a moment, kind of open your eyes, and you panic for a moment as you see light has returned to the room, but it's because there's sunlight coming in through the windows now. And your brother is sitting there, and he looks as he does normally, kind of has you against his chest now, just kind of stroking your hair. And you recognize that you are seeing back in the place you were the day after your parents' funeral, back in his room, feeling the same feelings, the same emotion, him just sitting there quiet, stroking your hair.
Oh, Jesus.
Huh?
Still, it's why you gotta wreck me.
You in a dark place.
Quick, shake her. Shake the crap out of her.
Yeah, she's just holding on and crying and begging him not to leave her too.
Oh, little bee, you know, I'm not going anywhere. It's you and me against the world. The Astor name will, of course. The Astor name must live on. Will live amongst the stars. Remember, that's what Dad always said. It's gonna be you and me. We can do this. We can do this. You hear a bit of doubt in his voice, but he's still trying to be strong. Strong for his sister. Eventually he sits you up. All right. That's enough. There's no more time for tears. We have things to do. And that thing is a Thomas right outside the door. Because this night could just get so much more
Oh,
fun.
Jesus.
Oh my god. What am I rolling? Oh my god.
I think... I think instead of being mean, I think this is a perfect scene as your brother sits you up on the side of the bed. We see Eric sitting there with Blanche, like trying to keep her up. William and Georgie are kind of rushing outside. I think this is a perfect place to put a pause in it. We'll come back next
but I
week.
wanted to roll. Damn
I know. We'll come back next week. We will see if Blanche is able to get out of her own mind and move forward with the investigation.
I could give a fuck about the investigation. I want to know who that fucking priest was, man.
Oh yeah.
He did this to me. I am not stupid.
No.
That priest messed you up something fierce.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely.
That's
something
okay.
else.
My mythos is a being of revenge is her thing. So.
Little did you know the priest was your father. Oh.
Dun dun dun.
You know what? I'm willing to. We'll give it to you, and it'll be a surprise till next week. That way, we don't waste a good train roll. How about that?
Yeah.
So go ahead and roll a d5 for me to see who's going to be affected by Thomas tonight.
I mean,
All right, that would be Mr. William. No,
what? I'm not even here.
Congratulations! No, you're in my vision too.
Welcome. All right, Mr. William, go ahead and roll me
Spread
a
the wealth.
2d10.
Yep, screw you.
All right, that is a 9 and a 2.
The good sides of the board. It's okay.
So,
Nope.
perfect. Let's go ahead and copy that over. And we will start with that next week.
Oh man.
Things got really dark really fast.
Oh, yeah.
As you walk out the door, you get hit in the face with a banana cream pie.
This was all going so well.
We were just
was.
investigating a luxury casino, and then all the shit went down.
priest did something.
Then you touch.
Now we've
You
been-
let the priest touch
Sucked
you.
into a nightmare.
You asked him questions.
I've
There
been sucked into
are-
a nightmare. I don't like this.
There are powerful. There are more powerful beings out there. So let's geek out during credits. We haven't done that in a little bit. Let's just geek out a bit.
All right. I
You
do
mean
have a
about the hell that just happened?
question.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
While they were in the vision, were they just like spacing out together at a
Mhm.
table? Was
Yep.
that real time or was that like
Your
for
mic
a
is freaking out
second?
again.
It's hard to tell. It was long enough for the show to end, but while they're in there, I don't know if they necessarily know how long it was. Time moves strangely. It doesn't seem that time has a meaning in memories necessarily.
right? So I'm just imagining them sitting there with a bottle of wine, like two people spaced out at a
Mhm.
table
Just
for like
watching us
15
Oh, yeah.
minutes.
completely wasted.
This
Yeah.
is really good wine.
Man.
They're
I
Well,
guess they had a good show.
One glass, the lady falls over into it, and the guy's like, "Oh my god, instant hangover."
Unsurprisingly, though, they're probably not the only ones to get a bit too intoxicated again. There's some rebel rousers in here, some people that probably aren't so good with
Blanche is-
money, and yeah.
Blanche is never going to touch that kind of wine again.
Don't say.
She's not going to care how rare and expensive and nice it is. If that shit shows up in her house, she's going to dump it out. She's going to be like, nope, no, we're not doing this. Mm-mm.
Oh no! But what about your brother's party?
Ooh.
I don't think that's the kind of wine we would break out for a simple dinner party.
No, this was
Okay,
like when
this is-
your
It sounds like
father
a
was bringing
terrible-
over like.
This is not a party wine.
No.
Period.
No, this is.
Unless you
This
like parties
is-
that are full of sadness.
Yeah, this is
Well, this is the wine that you pull out for like high-ranking nobility and royalty.
yeah. Or in this case, a wine to send a girl down the rabbit hole and never back out.
Ugh,
Mhm.
poor Blanche, man.
I think I was actually away from
Poor
my
Blanche.
computer for a minute. What did the priest actually say out of character? Like, I mean, I don't know.
It was a pity that George and Theodora couldn't be there.
Couldn't
Those are her
attend.
parents.
Oh
Yeah.
my god. Yeah, that
He
that
name
messed me up.
dropped.
Yeah, Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for those of you who were not here for her first session, her parents are dead.
Yeah.
Only her and her brother these days.
Well,
That's fun.
Well,
And she has no
well,
idea what
well.
killed them.
Oof.
Apparently a priest.
Well, she knows that they got very, very sick, but she doesn't know from what. Nobody was ever able to figure out what it was, let alone cure it. So,
Yes.
like we don't have enough problems.
sorry to bring down the mood, guys.
No.
Yeah, you
Done.
party pooper. That's usually my job. Damn it.
We'll start on a high note next time, that's for sure.
If
I
you
feel
feel
like
like there's
everyone's getting
anyone
a
that has
turn.
specifically helped or hurt you during the session beyond the MC, go ahead and give them a help and hurt point.
Count for hurt.
Help for. Well, I don't know if I've been hurt yet.
I'm sorry, Oz.
Let's see.
Don't be. That was fun. That was entertaining.
That was good.
Yeah, I know. I just know that I'm gonna get a hurt point from you.
Yeah, you are. But but it's nothing personal. I just want to have a hurt point. Like I haven't had any. I'm too nice and
I
too nice
have
of
a
guy.
hurt point.
I want to know where my hurt point came from.
I have a hurt point. I have a hurt point against William.
No, that's
Oh,
not.
dang.
That seems about right.
It seems reasonable,
does
doesn't
Georgie
it?
have one
Given what
against,
he's done.
Against Mike?
I mean, I haven't done anything. But
I don't really have any help or hurt points at the moment, so
Okay.
I'll just let it slide this time, just because she's like, all right, he's new. Maybe he's just weird. Maybe he's going through some shit.
Right.
We don't know. Benefited it out for now.
I filled
But
up
yeah.
2 of my cards.
Sweet.
Damn, look at you go.
Oh snap!
That's
level
good.
up.
So we'll chat about that here in a moment. I'm going to go ahead and ask Blanche real quick. One of the things we can do is which one of your themes is under the most strain? And if it collapses, what new aspect will show up in its place? And I feel like there's a couple ways you can go with this. So this is going to be to fill out the flip side on the back of the theme card, just to get ideas of, okay, if I happen to lose this. Now, you're not there yet. You haven't been marking fade and crack, but I do think that you might be starting to get there. So I'll let you pick. It's probably either going to be maybe the future. I can see the future. What would happen if you force that away because of what it's been showing you lately? Or if you were to lose your brother, what would...
I was looking at the Big Brother one,
Yeah.
personally. That seems the most likely with what's happened.
So go ahead and just
'Cause-
write some notes on the flip side of, okay, what would replace that? So when you lose any themes, it's replaced with a theme of the opposite type. So if you lose a Logos, it's replaced by your Mythos.
Fuck.
If you lose a Mythos, it's replaced by a Logos. If you get 4 Mythos and you awaken to the full avatar of your Mythos. If you lose all of your Mythos, you become a sleeper. Basically, now you're fighting against the mist. So you can still have abilities and stuff, but you just don't... You are actively fighting against believing in any of the Mythos. So yeah, and you also would gain a nemesis as well if you lose a theme, which doesn't necessarily have to be a person. It could just be an annoyance that now exists for you. I mean, an example would obviously be loss of family heritage, like all of the wealth or all the money, like that is your nemesis, is now you are no longer in the place you were before. But if any of you ever get to that point where you feel like, you know what, maybe I haven't really been using this theme, and that's because I am starting to lose it, you know, because it's not a relevant part of my character. Maybe I don't want it to be part of my character anymore. Go ahead and mark that on the back of ideas or thoughts you might have of what would replace it, and then that might be able to give me some ideas of how to push you a bit to challenge you on those themes. Because what's awesome about this game, and I've gone over this a couple times before, but I can't really force you to ever lose any of your themes. If you want to be the same power tags and all that kind of stuff, that's absolutely fine. It's your character. But there are a few moves in here that if you get the opportunity to answer a question, one of your mysteries, and you decide not to, whether because you're scared of the answer or you're pulled away to make a choice and go do something else, then you start to mark fade on your mythos. And then for your logos, you will have challenges towards your identity. So if you stand up, say, the angel in the house, for an example, if you realize that, you know what, my place is not down here, it is, I need to be the head of household or something like that, you are now going against that identity, and you would start to mark crack or fade. It's one of those. I think it's crack on that. And once you mark 3, you lose that theme. But those things you can only decide to do on your own. And there are handouts and all that you can read about that further if you want to. But yeah, I think this was definitely an interesting episode. I won't lie. I was not expecting you to go to the casino. That was just about the last place I was expecting you to go to. But I had fun. I hope you all had fun as well. Anybody else to level up any themes tonight?
Nah.
Okay.
Nope.
No
I'm
worries.
I'm creeping up on the star of the show, but that's not yet.
Okay.
I barely did anything tonight except for pretend to be drunk and gamble.
True, you went
You
to
saw a
money.
show.
Yeah,
I
you saw a
leveled
show.
up
You
2,
saw a
and
movie.
all of the other ones are 1 away.
Oh, hey, so there's a question now that I'm actually looking at these cards. What are build-up points? Like, what are those about?
So when you lose a theme, you take a build-up point for every power tag and weakness you have. And once you get up to 5, you get basically a bonus beyond that. So there's a list of things you can get from build-up. It could be a nascent theme. It could be an ally, additional headquarters. It's basically more power. So while you do lose a theme, you have the ability to gain much more from it.
Okay, cool. So it's not like a total loss. That's cool. I like that.
Exactly. Again, it's all about the evolution of your character. It's not about the destruction of your character. As they experience more things in the city, they evolve and change to either become closer to their mythos, further away from their mythos, completely lose it, or completely turn into it. Yeah, it's all about evolving. There will be some that stay the same and others that change pretty drastically depending on how you push it. Awesome.
Nice.
Well, yeah, I had fun. I hope you all had fun. I'm going to go ahead and wrap the video up here. So thank you to anybody that's out there watching on the YouTube. If you are at all interested in this game, make sure to download the free starter set. It's a lot of fun. I think you can come up with a lot of fun stories. If you feel like joining this or any of our other crazy games on this channel, make sure to join that Discord link. And for Spoon, Bloodied, Oz, and Maru, thank you all so much for playing tonight. And we will see you all next week. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye, and thanks.